go. Coach, you had a pretty successful Western road trip, taking 3 out of 4. Now that you had a couple days to process and look at the video, how did you assess your team's performance at a key moment in the season?
I thought it was gritty. You know, we talked about it was 4 and 5 nights, and I think the guys really had to bear down, and they did.
Solid team performances in all these games, too. It wasn't like 1 or 2 guys that kind of carried the load. It was all 4 lines, all 3 deep pairings, and the goaltending shining bright, too. What impressed you, I guess, of this team, especially at this moment in the season, to have everybody buy in like they did?
Yeah, that's the cohesiveness, and I think we've talked about it before. They enjoy playing for each other. They play hard for each other. It's a good locker room in there, and yeah, it's like they said, winning is fun.
Does it feel like everything's coming together? I mean, 7-2-1 over the last 10 days. Do you see something a little different right now that makes you go, okay, this team is really ready to make that drive for the playoffs?
Yeah, we feel like we are. You know, I think we're playing what we determined the right way. We have, you know, we're playing connected hockey. We're 5 together a lot, all over the ice. There's good puck support. There's good defensive support all over the ice. So I think, yeah, the guys are playing really well. So I give them a lot of credit.
Getting great contributions from rookies. I mean, what can you say about this rookie class, how well they've done so far this year?
Yeah, it's pretty impressive to watch them, right? And I think that just being that young and handling the league and the ridges of the schedule and games and everything we throw at them. So I give them a lot of credit.
Josiah has just been on a tear. How close is he to being ready to play at the next level? What are you seeing out of him lately that shows he has taken another step up here?
Well, I think just his habits, right? He's got great habits in terms of his feet are always going. He's got a great stick defensively. You know, he's a smart player. He checks the right way, and he has a lot of offense in him. It's kind of, I think, an underrated part of his game that he's been able to show here in the last couple of weeks.
Blackhawks, unfortunately, are not going to be in the playoffs, but what that does mean is if this team, the IceHogs, gets in the playoffs, you will have your full complement of players. All hands on deck. Do you get excited thinking about what the roster here could look like if you have that full complement, that full group?
You know what, to be honest with you, I haven't thought about it. We kind of just focus on the guys that are here, and we're really happy with the guys that are playing here, and it's something to be said for the guys that have been here all year too, that how well they are playing. So I think kind of that's where our focus is in the moment where we are right now, that's what we're focusing on.
Do you have to push up a button a little bit for these guys to remind them that every game is crucial right now, or are they so aware of that you really don't even have to talk about that?
No, they know. We have great leadership in there, and I don't, you know, we talk about it, but they know what's at stake, and they're all excited about, you know, making a run here this spring. So I think they know the importance of the games coming up here.
Stauber has joined us. I know you're trying to get in the playoffs. Can you work him in? Do you want to work him in at some point to give him a shot, or how do you deal with that?
Yeah, you know what? I think he's here for a shorter stint now, just to see and learn a little bit here. I think he has to go back to school to finish up some classes. So I think right now that's the plan. But we'll evaluate as we go along here.
What are your first impressions of him? Today was his first practice on the ice. I know he kind of got thrown right into the mix right away, but as a coach looking and having a development background like you do, what did you see from him?
Yeah, I mean, you know what, you probably ask Peter or Aubrey about that more than me, but I thought, you know, he has a presence in net. He's got some size and some reach in net for sure. So, yeah, I thought he looked good from what I saw.
You talked about guys that have been here all year and really complimenting their work. DJ Buzzdecker this morning announced that he signed an extension. A guy from last season, as short as it was, to this season, really made tremendous strides. He was the unsung hero last year. What have you liked about his game this year that he continues to move forward in his development?
Yeah, you know what? It's similar to with Slavin there. His habits are really good. You know, he's relentless in his work ethic. You know, he's got a great stick defensively. He kills penalties. You know, he's on the power play. He does a lot of little things real well. You know, he's a culture guy, right? Like, it's a guy that when we're watching video, a lot of times it's him in the clips doing the right things.
When you see a guy like him play as hard as he does, compete the way he does it kind of make you scratch your head and go, how did this guy not get drafted? How did he get overlooked?
Yeah, you know what? I don't know. It's a hard thing to say, right? You never know what goes into drafts and all that. But I think he's really making a name for himself. So we're really happy for him, and we'll see what the future holds here for him.
Now you turn your sights ahead. You got the Tucson Roadrunners coming into town, a team you just saw last weekend. Team that got off to great starts against you, but you were able to settle down and get involved. How do you approach it again, now back on home ice, and a team that is vulnerable and a chance to take some points?
Yeah, that's the biggest thing. I think we have to set a standard and set the tone here at our home ice, especially here coming down to the end of the season here and hopefully in the playoffs, right? You want to be able to cash in on that home ice when you have those games.